go and change things. I'm up at Carmichael's trying to get on the same page. I heard about the rapper that you claim was...
It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we'll see Fred Warner.
On the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium, just north of downtown Tampa. Today, Week 17 is upon us, and we've got a good one in store here, as it'll be the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Now the Michigan man, Jake Moody, to get us started. And off we go from Tampa. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
The drive starts with a run by White. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. White's numbers from a week ago. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
This 2nd and 4. They stay on the ground with White. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one 28 yards on the ground. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game. That game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
Going right side is White. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
So, Charles, for this offense, we've been talking all year about how difficult it would be to run the table. And you gave me your chances early in the year. You thought maybe 25%. A few weeks ago, you thought closer to 50, but not quite 50. Now, here they are. 15-0. This is happening, isn't it?
I think it is, Brandon, because I do believe this team is too invested, too well coached to fall asleep at the switch now. And I think it ultimately benefits them to stay engaged all the way through the season, because make it to the finish line, then they get the open week to refresh and re-energize. But if you get off the gas now, that can really hurt you come playoff time.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll run for it. This is White. And he's not going to get there. Might have even lost a yard. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs. And that could be a major momentum swing here early.
Because the defense stopped them. How great is that? They go for it on the first drive of the game. They're the ones trying to establish something, trying to assert a little dominance. And guess what? You turn it back on them and give the ball to your own offense. I agree with you. It could change momentum in a big way.
Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 44.
Purdy will set up to throw it here.
Dancing to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jalen Carter in there yet again. What else this is new. He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them early.
That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
The numbers for McCaffrey last week. 14 carries, 56 yards.
And when he went over 1,000 yards last week, you know what it did for their offense? It gave them a true identity because everyone's going to talk about this. The offensive line's going to take pride in it. Of course, the guy carrying the football will. But how about the coaching staff when they go in and talk?
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Jalen Carter. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play. Now make that a second sack here on their first drive out defensively. And not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
But they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling the quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down. Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on third down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
And that is no good. And this will remain a scoreless game.
I don't care who you are. 60 yards is a very ambitious attempt. Hard to make even in practice in the best of conditions. And now, worst of all, you give the other guys the ball to start their drive at midfield.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. They'll try the right side here with White. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. We're scoreless after one. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Opting to run again here with White. And running with power here. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 87 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. He showed his shiftiness and his explosion to take him all the way down near the goal line.
Love that description, and it creates momentum. Maybe you hand it to him again since he's got it going, or do you fake it to him and throw it to a teammate? Right now, the options are wide open.
Five yards from the end zone, 1st and goal. Here's White. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. On the give, it's White. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the second quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your 2-point conversion plays, because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have 1 or 2 for the game. You have more like 6 or 7. Which one do you like here? Because that's essentially what you're going for right now. That spot of the field, call one of those and go get 6.
So after drive number 3 here, we have a score, and it's 3 points after the field goal.
I would say the feeling out process for both these teams, I'd say it's over, partner. Everyone understands what's going on now. You've kind of probed a little bit. Now you want to start throwing the big shots. First 3 points up on the board could be significant.
The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Shotgun handoff down to McCaffrey. And not a whole lot there. Maybe a yard to the 27. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped him. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now he's bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble. That could have been trouble.
Fourth down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt.
Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10.
Well, Rachaad White and the rest of this Tampa Bay offense going back to work now.
He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend.
101 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Well, that carry just did something significant as well. It pushed him past Jerome Bettis on the NFL all-time rushing list. The Bucs had 13,662.
And not every carry you get in the NFL is going to be open field, right? A place you can make your cuts. You got to get some of those grimy yards, don't you? You got to go inside and run through people, just as Jerome Bettis did. That's what we've seen him do as well.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
Now a give to White. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On 3rd down, a run from White. Still staying on his feet. Are you serious?
And they're going to have a 1st down, and they're in field goal range as well as they're down inside the 20.
On that last carry, he just passed LaDainian Tomlinson, Charles, on the all-time NFL rushing list.
And congratulations to him, and I'm sure LT would probably applaud him as well. But he'd also ask him, as well as you carried it, could you throw it like I could too?
LT, though, finished his career at 13,684, and now he's soaring past that. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, where it was the Falcons who were able to pick up the victory at home. Drake London, a touchdown catch in the victory. Next, we head off to check out another game. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. The Titans locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check in on the Saints at home at the Caesars Superdome. And they were winners in that one as they defeat the visiting Seattle Seahawks. DeAndre Swift, what a game. 3 touchdown runs in the victory. If you missed the first half, there's not much to get you caught up on. Just the lone field goal accounting for the entirety of the scoring. A 3-0 game to this point, as both defenses have been strong so far. In a game where one field goal was all these offenses could muster in the first 2 quarters, you figure both coaching staffs were needing to make plenty of adjustments. And for the call of the second half, we send it back out to Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. The 49er offense set to go to begin quarter number 3. It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in the second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. You know, I think the defense is saying back to them, why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, put some drives together, give us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And, oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points, too.
They run the option on second down.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. The decision to keep it turns out to be a good one. 11 yards in the first down.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it. Most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
Now Purdy. Open man is Samuel, complete. And, Charles, you look at this defense. They were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half.
And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team that's struggling. But if somehow they fashion some plays together early, knock them back on their heels, that looseness can be used against them, and they're trying to scramble to make sure they get their game right.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime means had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, he went that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down.
7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Here's Purdy now on 3rd and goal.
Throw offside. McCaffrey's got it. And oh, he's just going to be short here. Barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping them from the first down.
Stopped him in his tracks. Thought that might be the goose egg breaker. Still stuck on 0.
Yeah, this is still a tight game, too. We got to keep that in mind because that miss there, you hang your head, you let it affect you the next time you go out there, then you've really hurt your ball club. Get yourself together. You might get another opportunity, and they're going to count on you to put it through the post.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down. On the handoff, this is White. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage. But you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. 1st down on a pickup of 11. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. On the handoff, it's White. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12. Now a carry for White. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
And his kick is indeed good, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25.
San Francisco set to go on offense once more.
I tell you what, it's kind of hard to imagine. They have not scored a single point, and yet they're in this position, a touchdown drive here, and they're in the lead.
Normally, when you have 0 on your side of the ledger on the scoreboard, you're a little bit discouraged. But when they look over and see their opponents, they don't see a number that's way out there. They don't see a number they can't attain. In fact, they can get it right here on this drive and potentially take the lead.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
Throwing here, Purdy.
Got a man right side. It's McCaffrey. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. So the completion gets him just a yard. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Back to throw, Purdy.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Now, the 2 points, that's not totally critical at this point. Still a 1-score game, but they do have to give away the football with no guarantees they're going to get it back.
Yeah, or at least if they get it back, will they have any time to do anything with it? So they've got to send their defense out there and say, guys, we got to have it right now. Save some time for us.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20.
But it looks like one of the DBs has it.
The Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. They begin the drive on the ground. It's White. Able to evade the tackle, but then quickly brought down just outside the 5.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game.
So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Here's White, and they're going to drop him well shy of the 1st as he can only make it to the 11. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. The Bucs try it on 4th down, but come up empty. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. So that's a decision that could loom pretty large here. They go for it on 4th down, but come up empty.
But I actually like the call, and the reason? It shows me a head coach has faith in his team overall. First on the offensive side, thinking they can pick it up, but also knowing that he has faith in his defense that if they don't, they'll go out there and stop them. I like the confidence he showed.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit higher. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Here's Purdy to throw. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it. And the Bucs have just about sewn up this football game. Well, this game has not been short on intrigue, but that's the backbreaker right there, and it's going to put any hope of victory to bed.
Yeah, they knew they needed the touchdown, and when you have that little time remaining, they know they've got no choice except to go for broke, and that they did. But the interception, that means defeat.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout as they get him with under a minute to go now in the football game. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They keep it on the ground. White again. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you watch high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
And he is going to have a Bucs first down. All smiles on that sideline. That should be the one to do it.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Going on the ground, it's White. And he'll take this one down to the 36. So time has run out on what will be a Tampa Bay victory. And not all W's are created equal, CD, and this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. But the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look, the offense, obviously stuff to work on, but they did enough, and the defense carried the load.
But you know what they say? It's always fun to work on things. If it didn't go well in your game, with a victory in your pocket. And that's what they've got going forward.
So for the Bucs,
they're a win away now from running the table here in the regular season. They moved to 16-0 on the year.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Bucs are winners here as we say so long from Tampa.
Never leave the house without the pack. Where my